And after about 2 months of eating clean keto at that time, the migraines were gone. So I just kept going and kept going, and joint pain was eliminated. I ended up getting off all of my medications.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our videos. If you'd like to support us some more, you can explore our homemade natural skincare products at purelytallow.com. Thank you so much for supporting my small business.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Carnivore Revolution. Today my special guest is Paula Kish. You may know her from Low Carb Revelation. So we thought this would be kind of fun. The revolution and the revelation coming together to talk about low carb, carnivore, keto, so we can help you guys figure out where to get started. Paula, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So let's start with your story, how you decided to do a low carb diet and what that has helped you with.
Okay, well, I grew up eating the standard American diet, and I thought I ate healthy. I had salads and veggies all the time, and I was okay until I hit my 40s, and I'm 54 now. Mm-hmm. And when I hit my 40s, my health just started to slowly fall apart. And I had a lot of, the biggest thing that I had was migraines. I had debilitating migraines. They were the kind where you have to sit in complete darkness with complete silence, the nausea, everything. I had ice caps that I wore, all of these things. It was very, very interfering with my life. And so that started in my 40s. And then I also had joint pain problems throughout my entire body. Was in physical therapy for different things, for my feet, my ankles, my shoulders, my neck, all of those things, and ended up going to a foot doctor, and he was doing some different things with some different different treatments for my Achilles tendon and for my arches and that kind of thing. Special boot he had made for my foot and all of these things. Well, he got suspicious and had some blood work drawn on me, and came back that I was positive for lupus. And he said, I don't deal with this, so you need to go see your regular doctor. So I went to my regular doctor, and she sent me to a rheumatologist because she tested me as well and came back positive for lupus. And so I ended up going to a rheumatologist and started treatment with her. She did multiple blood tests, and each time they all came back positive for lupus, but she never gave me a definite diagnosis for lupus. She also was suspicious that I had rheumatoid arthritis. And so she put me on hydroxychloroquine, steroids, started all these different treatments with me, told me I needed to go on a vegan diet, told me to eliminate inflammatory meat, which was crazy when I think back now. And I did. I was desperate for help. So I did a very clean vegan diet for about 6 months. Mm-hmm. I ate lots of vegetables, lots of salads. I had some healthy grains and all of that. And then nothing changed. My health did not change for the better. The migraines were still there. And one day, about 2.5 years ago, almost 3 years ago now, I was in my living room folding laundry, and my husband was sitting on the couch watching YouTube. Mm-hmm. And it's really crazy because his algorithm is hot rods and hunting and that kind of thing. Well, yeah. Dr. Ken Berry just pops up in his algorithm. It's really strange how that happened.
Meant to be.
He didn't watch anything like that. Yeah. So I was not really paying attention, and I'm folding the laundry, and I started listening a little bit. He was talking about the ketogenic diet and how it can help with inflammation. So I went and sat down, started listening, and by the end of the video, I looked at my husband and I said, I'm going to do this. I'm the type of person, if I decide to do something, I'm just all in. And so I said, I'm going to do this. I went out the next day. I bought all kinds of keto foods. And back then, I didn't know, I bought all the packaged keto foods.
Yes.
And, all of the things
the things that say keto approved on them, as if there's some sort of organization out there certifying keto foods.
Absolutely. I bought all that, the keto granolas and all those things. And I started doing research and really diving in. And after about a few months, I started, as I was doing research, I started learning more and more about eating cleaner and making sure that your ingredients are clean. So I started eating pretty clean. And after about 2 months of eating clean keto at that time, the migraines were gone.
Amazing.
And that was in November. It was like almost this coming November. So it was like 2 years ago, November, I experienced my last migraine. I've never had not even a headache since then. It's been amazing. So I just kept going, and joint pain was eliminated. I ended up getting off all of my medications that the rheumatologist had put me on. She wasn't really interested. We did like a doctor visit on the phone, because it was back then, it was, you had to do them on the phone. And she wasn't really interested after I told her I had been eating meat. She thought that that was a big mistake. So that was my last doctor visit with her. And I haven't been back to a rheumatologist. I haven't been tested to see, where my blood work is, anything, but joint pain's gone. Migraines are gone. I've lost almost 60 pounds. I feel incredible. And as I have gone over the past 2.5 years, my diet has slowly evolved, way more meat-based. And I guess you could call me more ketovore-ish, carnivore-ish. So, and then I started my YouTube channel because I was just wanting to share my story. Because I know there's so many people out there that experience these kind of issues, and, it's worth a shot, And so that's where I'm at today. I'm just plugging along, and I'm feeling great. And I'm 54 now. I always say I feel better than I did when I was in my 30s now.
So I say the same thing.
Much more energy. Just the joint pain. I just go, for my yearly doctor visits, because we have to for my husband's insurance, but I don't feel the need to go to the doctor for anything anymore. And I was constantly making doctor appointments for different things.
And does that doctor know? Is that the same doctor you had before?
So my medical doctor, or my family doctor, she knows now. And the last time we were there, she was taking notes.
Really.
I haven't seen her. We're due to see her in April or May. And that'll be for a year. But last year she was taking notes about, I was telling her, I haven't had any, she said, I'm just concerned about your cholesterol. Let's just, keep an eye on that. But she was taking notes. She really was interested in me not having migraines and the joint pain being gone, because she had seen me often, or, talked to me for referrals often. So I'm anxious to see her back, after in a month or two, to let her know, hey, it's still going strong here. So
it's really amazing that, and our stories aren't the only stories, but you just wonder how many stories are these doctors seeing that they're just kind of dismissing, right?
I know.
And then the only thing they're really concerned about is your cholesterol. Whereas if that's your only marker of not being healthy, it's really not a marker at that point. Like if your cholesterol is elevated, and that's literally the only thing, and you can exercise, your blood pressure is good.
Absolutely.
Your skin is healthy. You're at a healthy weight, which you weren't before, like all of those things, but they're like, your cholesterol.
I know.
You're going to die.
I'm not having those debilitating migraines, it's like, or the joint pain. I'm not in here. I'm not coming to see you every month, or needing a prescription for physical therapy, so I just don't get that either. So
it just is baffling. My doctor always recommends the Mediterranean diet to people. And this is the second year in a row that we spent a lot of time talking about carnivore, because I'm a complete carnivore, and he's a little bit baffled by it. He kind of was snickering a little bit, even while we were talking, like he just can't wrap his mind around it. But 2 years in a row, he told me, congratulations, your blood work is great. There's nothing I can do for you. And I'm like, you're darn right. There's not. I hope to not see you again until next year.
That's awesome.
And that's usually, that's how it goes, is, it'll be a year, which I've been like that for a long time. We don't go to the doctor for sicknesses. Usually my kids haven't been to the doctor for a sickness in 12 years, because we just treat everything at home with essential oils and stuff. Like we don't have to go to the doctor because the kids are sick. What's he going to do? Tell me the kids are sick? So, we hardly ever go to the doctor for anything. So, and I think that's important too, is to kind of take your health into your own hands, make sure you do research and understand how you can do, home health, how you can heal things on your own and not rush to the doctor for every little thing and put your kids on antibiotics for every little thing, because that just weakens your immune system. I think a lot of people don't understand that. And the other thing that weakens our immune system is all the sugar and the carbohydrates that people eat. And that's why this works. That's why this is so much better. So in the beginning, did you have a hard transition? Because I know a lot of people look at this like, oh, it's so hard. You have to give up all these foods. I could never do that because I could never give up fill in the blank. So did you have a hard time in the beginning, or were you just, you know, like you said, you made up your mind, so you just didn't falter?
I'm more of a disciplined, like, make up my mind and like, I'm going to do this. And, you know, I mean, of course you still have cravings. I had cravings for sweet things back then. And I did, you know, have the keto, a lot more keto sweets back then. And there was a keto bakery near us, and I always had to go and make sure I was getting those things. So those things helped me transition, having those, like, you know, the alternative foods. But I really didn't, I just had my mind made up. I was just like, I'm going to do this because it was for my health. It wasn't for just for weight loss. It was for health. And so, it wasn't tough for me.
Yeah. And I think people are just so scared to get started. And so once they get started, I think people can see you start to have results, you start to feel better, you start to lose weight if that's one of the things that needs to happen with you, and you start to feel better, and then you get encouraged, and then you can keep going. But instead, people just automatically look at it from the outside and say, oh, there's no way I could ever do that because I can't give up my sweets or my, you know, coffee with sugar in it, or, you know, whatever it is. But if you just give it a chance, it can really just make a huge difference and help you to stick with it. So did you have, were you really strict? You know, I know that you were buying some keto treats and things like that in the beginning, but were you really strict, or have you ever, you know, like kind of had a backslide?
No, that's something that I never really, I went through Maria and Craig's coaching program. And that's one thing I tell my clients when I'm coaching them, that, and a lot of people find it hard to believe, that I really don't cheat. I really, once I discovered this was making me feel better, I was like almost not afraid, but apprehensive of going back to eating like maybe a piece of chocolate cake or something at a party, because I was afraid it was going to throw me into a migraine. And so it was like those things, that's what kept me from doing that, because I would rather have had the health. So I was just, my husband says that he does this with me, and he's a little like, he will go for that cake or something, you know, he's had those moments where he's done that, and he's like, not everybody's like you.
My husband too.
I just made up my mind, and I just did it. And I just don't really do cheating of any kind. I don't, even if it's a special holiday or whatever, I just do it. This is my lifestyle.
That's awesome. Because I know a lot of people, myself included, go ahead and do it on those holidays, and it ends up being like a 2-week thing. It can be really, really difficult to get that stuff back out of your system. Because it's just so addictive. Really difficult.
And I've talked with people that have gone through that, and they, you know, they have a hard time getting back on track again. So, but mine was mostly for, I think if I did this just for weight loss, it might have been easier to slip and do, you know, eat things that I shouldn't eat. But because I was so traumatized by the stuff I was going through with the pain and stuff, the headaches and that, I was like, okay, I don't have that anymore. I associated that food with making me sick. And it's like, no, I don't want any part of that. It's toxic to me. So that's
what I always say is those things, that's not food to me anymore. Like that's those things aren't food. I did at Christmas time, I did fall off, and it was pretty bad. It was only about 4.5 days, but it felt like a month. I was miserable. It was, I did not feel good. I was crying, and it was Christmas, and I just kind of ruined it with food, whole boxes of chocolate covered cherries. But I was a carb and sugar addict. It doesn't sound like you didn't have those serious issues like that. No, I don't. Not like I had. So I can see that for you, I can totally see how it would be harder for you to cheat, because for me, you know, I'm just going to feel like garbage because I ate sugar, but you're going to be in actual pain. You know, if you eat those things. And so I can see.
There were certain things that I was eating back in the beginning, like I would have like almond flour treats, you know, or those kind of things. And I still was having inflammation in my joints.
Yeah,
I would
sure.
wake up after I didn't really pay attention because I thought, well, this is a low carb food.
Right.
And I would eat maybe, a dessert that I made for one of my videos,
Mhm.
and it had almond flour in it. The next morning I would wake up and my fingers would be like stiff and swollen.
Really?
And so I've seen how even those foods that are, keto approved, they would throw me into having inflammation and that kind of thing. So I just turned off from those foods like immediately. I'm like, I don't want that because it's going to cause me pain. So
absolutely. Yeah. So you mentioned, so it started off as keto for you and you've kind of transitioned a little bit towards ketovore. So what does a typical day of eating look like for you now?
So I eat mostly meat. I'll get up in the morning and I always have eggs. Eggs are one of my favorite foods, and I used to avoid eggs like they were the plague. It's so funny, but because I thought they were just bad for you. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
But eggs always. This morning we had omelets. My husband makes really good omelets, and we had roast beef last night in the slow cooker.
Mhm.
We had some leftover, and he just made omelets with the roast beef and a little bit of cheese in there. And I do eat dairy, cheese, heavy cream. I don't overdo it like I used to.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's slowly transitioning. And then later for dinner, we'll probably have like some hamburger patties. My husband he does low carb with me, and he likes to have some green beans, some salad, that kind of thing. And it's funny because the other day I had some cauliflower and I was affected by the cauliflower. So I don't know, there's certain things that I'm noticing as I'm getting, as my way of eating is getting more, I don't want to say narrow, but I'm like, I'm zoning down to meat.
Yeah.
I'm really finding out certain things that are still aggravating me and irritating my stomach and different things. So mostly meat. Once in a while, I'll have a salad, a side salad, something like that. For the month of May, though, I'm doing a carnivore challenge on my YouTube channel. So I'm going to be doing all whole month carnivore. So we'll see. I am going to be doing cheese, though.
Yeah. Well, and I was just going to say the carnivore diet works, I think, so well. And I don't think everybody has to be 100% carnivore. Like, I know a lot of people are, pretty harsh about that. And I'm not dogmatic about it. I don't think everybody has to be carnivore, but I do think everybody should be carnivore for 30, 60, or 90 days.
Yeah.
Get your system really cleaned out, feed it, nourish it, get some vitamins and nutrients from the red meat. And then if you want to start adding things back in, you can add things back in one at a time. Like you said, that's how you can tell when things start to affect you. Like as you start to narrow down what you're eating, but the better way to do it is to do the carnivore. And then if you want to have a salad, go ahead and have a salad, at the end of 30 or 60 days or whatever, and see how that affects you. You might find that salad doesn't agree with you either. It doesn't agree with a lot of people. And so I like it as an elimination diet, if nothing else, for people. And I think the whole country should do it for like 30 or 60 days. I think it would change I think it could change the world if more people were carnivore.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I think the pharmaceutical companies would go out of business if everybody was low carb. I think the pharmaceutical companies would go out of business.
I agree with you. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's crazy.
So yeah, I did start with the regular, like the traditional keto diet, where I was more, half meat, half vegetables.
Yes.
And it's definitely become way less vegetables now and more meat focused. So I eat a lot of whole foods. I don't eat packaged, unless I buy some egg life wraps or something like that, or the Power Pucks or something like that, those little packaged foods. But I really pay attention to the ingredients and try to keep them really clean and try to stick with whole foods,
Yeah,
so
absolutely. So if you had one piece of advice for people that are looking to get healthy, people that were in your situation with bad migraines or, just trying to figure out what they're going to do, because I know you probably got to the point like most people do where you feel like you have tried everything, like you get desperate, right? And so how do you talk somebody into trying this? Like, what would be your advice?
I would say to first start by eliminating sugar and processed foods and bringing your carbs down as low as you can get them. If you're not ready to just jump in carnivore, just, eliminating sugar, processed foods, keeping your ingredients super clean, and keep your carbs as low as you can. And usually that's meat. you know, what's
Right,
left
yeah.
is meat, eggs, a little bit of cheese if you, you
Yes.
know, if you incorporate that. But that's what I would say is, I think that the biggest, and wheat, any kind of wheat, I think the biggest irritation for me was sugar and grains and
Yeah.
processed foods. So eliminating those things and then doing your best just to work toward that low carb diet. So
Absolutely. Paula, where can people find you?
I have a website, lowcarbrevelation.com. I also am on Instagram, and I have a YouTube channel, and that is Low Carb Revelation. So
Awesome.
that's,
Thank you so much, Paula. I hope your story can help other people.
oh, me too. Me too.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time on the Carnivore Revolution.